Imagine going to work, and your boss somehow turns a simple suggestion box meeting into depression jokes, secret betrayals, office conspiracies, and a grown man hiding inside a cardboard box like he's in a spy movie. Yeah, this is peak The Office chaos. Michael Scott decides he wants to prove that he listens to his employees, so he proudly brings out the office suggestion box and tells everyone that he reads every single suggestion every week, and instantly, everything falls apart. Because the very first suggestion is about Y2K, Y2K. Bro really exposed himself in the first 10 seconds. Then somebody writes that the office needs better support for employees dealing with depression, and instead of taking it seriously, Michael starts joking about it. The room immediately becomes painfully awkward. That's what makes The Office genius. It takes normal situations and somehow turns them into the most uncomfortable thing you've ever watched in your life. But the meeting keeps getting worse. One employee complains about Michael's body odor. Another says he stands too close while talking. Then Dwight gets roasted for coffee breath. At this point, the suggestion box stops being office feedback and becomes a full public execution. Everybody starts attacking everybody, and Michael keeps pretending this is all productive. That's the funniest thing about him. He genuinely believes he's a great boss while actively destroying the entire room. Then out of nowhere, Dwight decides this is the perfect opportunity to betray Michael. This man secretly calls Jan and basically says, "If you let me run the branch, I can save it." Bro sounded like a movie villain trying to overthrow a kingdom, and the craziest part? Dwight fully believes he's being professional. Meanwhile, Jan instantly exposes him. Michael finds out, and now the office turns into pure psychological warfare. Nobody trusts anybody anymore. And somehow it gets even crazier. Dwight convinces Jim to form a secret alliance like they're playing Survivor. Dwight starts acting like an FBI agent, watching employees, tracking conversations, suspecting random people for absolutely no reason. Meanwhile, Jim is just trolling him the entire time. Jim realizes Dwight is insanely paranoid, so he starts feeding him fake information, and Dwight believes all of it. Bro literally starts investigating sandwiches. That's the beauty of Jim and Dwight scenes. Jim barely even tries, and Dwight destroys his own sanity automatically. Then Michael suddenly decides everybody in the office lacks motivation, so naturally, his solution is forcing Kevin to eat broccoli like he's training for a championship fight. Kevin looks completely traumatized, and Michael keeps screaming, "Eat it!" It's so uncomfortable, but somehow impossible to stop watching. That's basically the entire magic of The Office. Secondhand embarrassment. Every scene feels like something that should never happen in a workplace, but somehow feels weirdly realistic at the same time. And then comes Andy's disaster. Andy accidentally discovers that the girl he's dating is actually still in high school. Yeah, this episode really went off the rails. The funniest part is how long it takes Andy to understand what's happening. He's literally standing inside a school hallway, still confused. Meanwhile, Jim is dying internally watching the situation unfold. Everything about this episode is chaos. Michael destroys meetings, Dwight becomes a paranoid spy, Jim manipulates everybody for entertainment, Kevin nearly dies eating vegetables, and Andy accidentally creates one of the most, imagine going to work, and your boss starts a fake fire drill so intense that people actually think they're about to die. Yeah, welcome to The Office. This isn't just a comedy show, it's pure chaos trapped inside one tiny office. And honestly, that's what makes it legendary. From cringe moments so painful you pause the episode, to emotional scenes that hit harder than expected, The Office somehow turns boring office life into one of the funniest shows ever made. The genius of this show is Michael Scott. He's the type of boss who thinks he's motivational, but accidentally destroys everyone's mental peace every single day. One second he's giving a speech about leadership, next second he's causing complete disaster, like the time he screamed, "Everybody stay calm," during a fake fire, while everyone was literally losing their minds, and somehow, it becomes one of the funniest scenes in TV history. But the real magic of The Office isn't just the jokes, it's the characters. Every single person in this office feels real. Jim is the chill guy who survives work by pranking Dwight. And Dwight is basically what happens if a security guard, farmer, and robot combine into one human. This guy treats office sales like military warfare. Then there's Kevin, a man who somehow looks confused even while eating, and honestly, that's talent. But the heart of the